Are you tired of being weighed down? Have you fallen asleep on your health? This is your wake up call with my dad, Keith, my husband, Kyle, and me, Ashley.
Good morning, everyone. It is day 126, and this is your wake-up call. It is Sunday, which means it's time for the Sunday summary. Time to look back on our week, talk about how things went, share with you our ups and downs, our goods or bads, all that kind of stuff, how it went. So, looking back on this week, how did it go, guys?
Well, I know in previous weeks I have said that I'm doing a little bit more strength training and all, so I guess this morning I'll go ahead and explain what that looks like, through the week, in case there's any strength trainers out there or anybody out there that's wondering. First thing I want to say though is I'm doing a whole lot of machine work, working out on machines versus barbells because I'm just so stinking weak. But I've had to start somewhere, so I'm utilizing machines that I normally wouldn't even look at, much less use. But it is what it is. So anyway, to try to get through this real quick, on Monday we went to the gym and I did I did 3 or 4 sets of what we call box squats, where you put a weight on your back and you squat down to the box, sit on the box, and then try to squat back up. And I'm not having a whole lot of success doing those right now because my hips are really weak. But anyway, we did them, and so the next thing I did some leg presses, which I have been doing those for about 6 weeks, so they're coming along fairly well. Did about 5 sets of 8 on the leg press, and then I did some standing curls on a machine. So that was about it for Monday. On Tuesday, we did some bench pressing. I did 3 or 4 sets of 3. I'm having to do low rep because I've got a lot of tendonitis in one of my shoulders, so I'm not able to do a whole lot as far as the bench press is concerned, but we're trying to do them anyway. So I did about 3 sets of 5 on those, and then I moved over to a pressing machine where it's a seated press. And that's where I'm doing most of my work as far as upper body right now, because I can manipulate that machine to try to stay out of my shoulder a little bit more. So
Right.
I'm doing about 5 or 6 sets, somewhere in the 5 or 6 rep range. And then we're doing a whole lot of back work on Tuesdays. Doing a cable row machine. We're doing about 6 sets of 6 there. There's another kind of lat pulling machine that we're doing. I'm doing about 5 sets of 6 on that thing. And I don't know. That's all I can remember. Doing a few push downs on a cable machine for my triceps. And on Wednesdays, I try not to do a whole lot of anything. This week I did get out and mow the yard some, so that counted as a little exercise there.
Well, physical exercise.
Yeah.
You got to push mow.
Yeah. And then Thursday we were back to the lower body. I was kind of happy this Thursday. For the first time, I did some what we call free squatting without a box, just a regular squat. I use a yoke bar because, like I say, my shoulders are jacked up, so it's kind of a bar that I can handle without pulling my arms back on like a regular barbell. But anyway, it's still on your back, and like I say, it's the first time I'd done any free squatting in several years. And so I did 10 sets of 2 with those. And then I moved to the leg machine and I got 4 or 5 sets of 8. Then actually used a reverse hyper. That is, I don't want to get into that. That's kind of hard to explain, but most people don't even know what that is. But I did 4 sets of 8 on those.
Wow.
And I don't know what else. Anyway, Friday we were back to upper body. I actually did sets of 1 because my shoulder was messing with me, so
Yeah.
I did 5 or 6 sets of 1 rep and moved back to the seated press thing and did I think it was 5 sets of 5 with as heavy a weight as I could do, and did some more push downs, and then we did some more cable rows. I got 6 sets of the 6 on that. I got 5 sets of 6 on the other row machine. We actually went over there and did some heavy dumbbell rows. I got 4 sets of 6 on those. Did some more push downs in between all that. So Thursday went pretty good. And then that was Friday. And yesterday we got down to the track and walked for a couple of miles. So that's kind of a idea of when I'm telling you that I'm doing a little strength training, a little walking. That's basically how that breaks down.
So you've been on this program for 3 or 4 weeks now. Are you seeing a difference in your strength and stuff?
Yeah, well, the leg press I've been on for 6 weeks, and
right.
I'm getting fairly respectable on that. My legs tend to grow better than anything else, and I've actually cut back on those because I just don't want to go too heavy too quick. But I'm up to putting between 6 and 8 plates on each end, for sets of anywhere between 8 and 12. I mean reps. So legs are going good. I mean, I'm not really able to do a whole lot with my chest workout right now because of my shoulder, but I'm making a little progress there. And my back is getting stronger. Seems like every day. So when I started this, I was kind of afraid that I wouldn't have enough testosterone left in my old self to make any improvement, but I'm beginning to think at least I'm gonna make some. But
I think so.
I'm starting from such a weak state that anything's good.
Yeah. Well, you just had a really hard year last year, with your heart arrhythmia and all that, and I think you're doing good coming back from that.
Yeah. I mean, all that was kind of different because I had to lay on my back for about 4 months because I was all drugged out and I couldn't get my surgery scheduled. So I think if I could have got that surgery, right off the bat, I'd have had a whole lot easier time of it, but
I think so.
It didn't work out that way.
Well, good. I think strength training is going to be a very big key to our success moving forward. It is true that when you're stronger and you have more muscles, you do burn fat more. So, and I think it helps a lot in like the alignment of your skeleton and your nervous system and all of that. Your muscles hold things in place where they need to be.
Yeah. Well, I think I saw something on YouTube last week that kind of jogged my memory as far as what you're trying to accomplish when you're losing weight and everything. If you can shift your mind towards achieving goals such as strength goals, or we've talked about this before, but if you can concentrate on what you're doing instead of your weight loss,
Yeah.
you'll be more successful with your weight loss. Because if you just sit around and bang your head on the table about, losing weight instead of just getting out and being more active
Right.
and having goals and trying to achieve things, and strength training, that's really all that's about, is trying to put 5 more pounds on the bar every time
Right.
you can, and instead of worrying about the scale so much.
And that's easy to do, when you are trying to lose weight, you get so caught up in what that scale says every week. And I've been guilty of that, but what you're saying is right. Like, if you are setting fitness goals, whether it be adding weight to the bar, or you've got a competition coming up, or if you've decided you want to run a 5K or whatever it is, the weight's going to come off because you're going to be active and you're going to fix your diet, so you'll do better. You'll do better on whatever it is you're preparing for. So the weight really is secondary. And I always have to remind myself of that a lot. Because, yes, I want to lose weight. I want to be a smaller person. But my real goal needs to be, I want to be healthier. I want to avoid diabetes and heart disease. I want to be able to have children. I want to be around for a long time if I'm able to have children, be able to raise them. Those are my real goals, and I have to remind myself of that, of how am I going to achieve that, not how am I going to get 5 more pounds off the scale this week, because that's secondary. It's going to happen if I've got everything else prioritized the right way.
If everything else is lined up, that's going to happen.
Right.
So to not focus on the number on the scale, but focus on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Helps you get there.
Yeah. Remember what your why is, and make your fitness goals, and the weight's going to come off. And of course, that all goes along with making sure that you're eating right. That's actually probably at least 75% of the equation, if not more, is making sure you're fueling your body in the right way.
Yeah.
So this past week, both Kyle and I have had some kind of weird, head and chest cold, so we didn't get all of our workouts in. But I think both of us are feeling a lot better. I felt better yesterday, and I feel pretty good this morning.
I'm still struggling this morning. I'm hurting.
I don't know. That was a weird thing we both got. But we plan to really start hitting it hard, and we're in that Biggest Loser contest thing that we talked about yesterday, and I think that's going to be another fitness motivation for us, but we'll do a breakdown of what we do on our weight training days on another podcast. But we work out at home in our carport, so we have a bench, and we have a barbell, and we have some free weights, and we have a few sets of dumbbells. So most of what we're doing is free weight exercises as opposed to machines, because we don't have a gym membership at this time. Now that's not to say that we won't go get one sometime in the future, but right now that's working for us because we're both very self-conscious about what we look like, and we're not lifting very heavy yet. And that's the hard part about going into a gym, is people are going to watch you, and so I think one of our goals is to get confident enough and strong enough working out at home so that when the time comes when we need to get a gym membership, we will actually go, because if I start feeling super self-conscious or super bad about myself, I may not even go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
we're going to try to build up to a non-embarrassing, kind of point. But, that's all a whole nother thing. But as far as our diet went this week, I did well. I showed a loss on the scale on Thursday, even without exercising all that much. So I've said this before, but the diet's really coming more naturally now. On the weekends, like I said yesterday, we've kind of been a little more loose than we needed to be, eating more processed stuff and oil and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
But as far as like just cooking dinner and eating at home and stuff, it's just second nature now. There are certain things that we don't cook anymore. We don't have any meat or cheese in the house. I try really hard not to even buy pasta because that's one of my trigger foods. If there's pasta on the shelf, I will more than likely eat it like 2 or 3 times a week at least. So stuff like that I've learned how to just refine and do better and not bring into the house in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, those things being around makes it really difficult. So.
I mean, if you have a problem with potato chips, don't buy a bag of potato chips.
Yeah.
Don't put it into your house. I'm not saying never eat a potato chip ever again, but you probably shouldn't bring them into your house, especially the big bags that are going to last for days, Like I said, that's pasta for me. And I'm not saying pasta is horrible for you to have maybe once a week or whatever, but it's always been one of my favorite foods. And if it's there, I will pick that over anything else, even if I have a refrigerator full of good fruits and vegetables,
Right.
Just, be smart. Be smart about what you're bringing into your house in the first place. Most of our downfall comes when we go out and eat because you don't have any control over certain things. You're not in the kitchen cooking your food, so you don't know how much oil they used or sodium they used or all of that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's a great point, is that we want to maintain as much control over our food intake as possible.
Right.
And that's one of the things, looking back on this week, I mean, I had control, to an extent. I'm telling you, just this sinus infection stuff threw me off kilter big time. Cause I felt bad, and then when you feel bad, you have a tendency to return to comfort food.
Yeah.
And so I just had to fight that all week. That was kind of my big battle. I'm kind of at this plateau right now, and I've got to tighten up on everything so I can break through it and then keep going.
Well, I feel that getting consistent in our weight training will break that plateau,
Yeah.
And of course, water. We talk about this all the time, and I still am awful at drinking enough water, but that is so key to getting your weight off. Well, especially if you want the scale to cooperate. I know that I have to drink a good amount of water just so that my body will release it. Otherwise, it wants to hold on to it because it thinks it's dehydrated. And that just doesn't look good on the scale. It's not accurate for where you really are. And you also want enough water to flush out, all your toxins, and also to help in digestion. It's key. You got to drink that water. And I'm talking to myself more than I'm talking to anybody else. You got to get out there and drink some water.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. But overcoming this sinus infection, congestion stuff, I think it's gonna, put us back on track for getting our workouts in, and
Right.
it's probably the thing I wish I could have got in this week was some exercise and some weight training. Just between, I was just exhausted for the first part of the week, so.
Well, I said this yesterday, but I really want to win this Biggest Loser thing, and I have no clue what I'm up against. And I might not know the whole time. I don't know, but I've been needing some more goals, kind of like that. Because when I first started and I got my Fitbit, I was very, very into making sure I got 10,000 steps and making sure I beat Mom and making sure I beat whoever it was, and I was very focused on that. And that worked for me for a while because it got me outside and walking,
Yeah.
Well, that's lost its luster. Now sometimes I go out and walk and I forget to even put on my Fitbit, Whereas a month ago or 2 months ago, I would have been so upset because I wasn't getting my steps on my Fitbit, and that needs to really count. That was a huge motivator for me. Well, I don't really care about that anymore, so I'm excited to find something else that might motivate me, like this competition, seeing who loses the most, fat percentage. So I think it's going to be fun, one way or the other.
It will be. It will be. All right, everybody. Well, that kind of looks back on our week. See how things are going. We thank you for listening this morning. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Our Heavy House. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe. If you're not subscribed yet, we definitely want to have you join us each and every day as we kind of talk about various subjects, our journey, and where we're at, and what our struggles are. So thank you guys for listening this morning, and we'll see you tomorrow.